What kind of stuff do you think Ezra Miller would see?
Like I said before, the
FBI?
Yeah, the FBI agent with, like, a computer open with, like, his homework folders open.
Uh-oh.
Like, chasing him with handcuffs.
Oh, no.
I think he'd also see, like,
I don't know if we want to know.
I think he'd see Takata Iron Ice's parents as monsters.
That's really funny. That's really funny, actually.
And I think he'd see, like, anybody who disagrees with him as, like, a monster.
That makes sense, yeah. He's really oppressed, you know.
I know. It's really a big shame with, like, how much of an oppressed minority he is.
Well, it's gotta suck being a victim all the time.
Yeah, a really, really extremely rich...
Privileged victim?
Yeah, privileged victim who could do literally anything he wanted ever.
Who? Who's he?
Oh, sorry, they.
Thank you. Alright, so there's Cock Street over there.
Cock Street.
Oh, sorry, Block Street, sorry.
Are they wanting us to go to Salkin Church?
I don't know, I wanted to go to Bradbury Street by, down there, but if I remember correctly, isn't there nothing up... I mean, I might as well check, but I'm pretty sure there was nothing up here, right?
I don't remember. We haven't been here for so long, I don't know nothing.
I guess it was very dark the first time we came through.
Mm-hmm. Wasn't it nighttime?
There's almost like a felt over the screen. You see that? Like the little X's?
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. I thought it was just because it's, like, so old.
It's locked. Wait. Reservoir. Authorized personnel only. I was reading that very, very, very slowly for the people who you said can't read.
I didn't say they couldn't read. I'm just saying that sometimes you read a little too quickly for people.
I'm sorry.
You know.
I knew my best.
Are you an authorized person? Doesn't
Well,
seem like it.
I don't know. I wanted to see if that worked.
Just shoot the lock.
That doesn't work.
Shoot it.
No, we must have to come back there at some point.
Well, Iron Man could shoot the lock off.
Sorry, I was pulling out a nose hair because I'm a gross individual.
What the heck? Why are we telling people that?
What?
Yeah, sorry, I'm in the middle of playing this game and I'm just plucking my nose hairs. Let me just stick them on the controller here for you.
I'm a real professional.
ASMR.
I'm constantly doing professional things. Want to see my nose hairs I plucked today?
Yeah.
Alright, this is a very long path just to probably see nothing over here.
Probably, yes. But at least we got to see some nice graffiti.
What do you think that says? I think it says... Declara... Lololole.
I think it says, well, blah, 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 blah.
That makes sense, too. That's accurate. You can tell that door doesn't open because it's low poly.
That's pretty funny. Did you ever notice in, like, cartoons when, like, somebody was about to pick something up and it was a brighter color than everything else in the scene?
Yeah, that's pretty funny. I thought it was always to draw eyes to the object, though, more than, like, because of technical limitations, but maybe it's both.
Oh, maybe, yeah.
Because I don't think in animation you really have that kind of technical... Well, maybe you did back then, actually.
I don't know. I just always thought it was kind of funny. That, like, there would be, like, a bunch of purple balls and then there'd be one that's
Well, now,
red.
hold on.
What?
What do you mean by that?
Purple balls?
What do you mean by that?
I mean that, you know...
Let's go back this
somebody
way.
had a problem.
No parking anytime. I think that's the least of this town's concerns.
I think no parking anytime is the worst villain we've come across so far, actually.
You know what's stupid, by the way? I hate in real life where there's an area where there should be parking, and they're like, you can't. Why? What's the point? Like, genuinely asking, what is the point? Like, I understand if it's like a fire lane. Those have that written on them, though. You know? Like, it says, fire lane, no parking. Alright. I get it. That makes sense. But, like...
Check the bloody mailbox.
When it's just an area that... You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's just a street. What's the point? And then... I'll go to these other areas, in Minnesota specifically. I don't know if this is a problem anywhere else, but I guess anyone watching can tell me. I just don't leave Minnesota often. But there's other areas I go to in Minnesota where, like, there's parking on both sides of the street, and it's legal, and you can barely get through.
Yeah.
So why is that okay in some cities and some towns? But then there's other places where you can't park on either side of the street no matter what, just because.
Yeah, that was typically a problem in some places in Maine, too, where, like, they wanted you to have to pay for parking in a lot of places, which was really dumb.
Maine was, like, weirdly had a fetish for paying for roads.
Everything, yeah.
Like, they make you pay to travel down a road, they make you pay to, like, take pass a toll booth, they make you pay to park, they make you pay to, like, I'm surprised, like, when you get out and step foot onto, like, government ground, like, you don't have to have, like, quarters shooting out of your shoes into, like, slots or some shit. Like, it's insane.
I was a really big fan of this stupid person across from my favorite Chinese food restaurant, where when you parked there, if you didn't go in his store and you went to the store next to his, or you went to the Chinese food restaurant, he would tow your car. Even if he wasn't at the store, he'd just constantly be looking at his security cameras, like 24/7, even when he wasn't working, just to make sure nobody parked in his parking lot.
Why?
So he could tow them.
Seems pretty pointless.
It was pretty messed up.
It's funny, though.
It's like, do you have a life? Like, why are you such an asshole?
What kind of business was this?
I don't know, like some stupid electronics store.
Oh.
But, like, I wanted to go to the Chinese food place once, and I was with my friend, and she got towed because I had no idea about this guy, like, being a huge asshole, and there was no signs about it.
I think I thought legally you had to have a sign to do that.
I thought so too, but he didn't have any signs, and the police did not care.
Huh.
So. Uh-oh, sounds like there is trouble afoot.
Does. Let's see real quick.
Remember how we had to come over here one time to find that key, and we were having a really hard time with it? Is that just a dog? Yeah.
Yeah, let's just kill it.
Jeez. Yeah, let me just murder this dog. I'm a cat person.
There we go.
I gotta be honest, this outside area is a lot less scary than school.
I know. What's this?
I don't know, we've never been over here, have we?
No, I think we have. I was just looking around to see, like, where we have and haven't been.
Was this the way to the, like, backyard that I said the tree had a period? Yeah, this is that tree. Oh, wait, no, maybe not. Maybe not.
It's not there anymore. I think the world has changed.
Oh. Okay.
We're now in the snowy version of the world. I think in this one, there's, like, sort of used K. Gordon key.
Oh.
Let's check it out.
Interesting.
What's in here? Killer Gordon.
Killer Gordon.
You home, killer?
So this is like the house that we went to that had the dog house in front of it.
No, I think this is a different house.
No, but I mean, like, this is, like, in the same spot where that house was in the fog world.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because when we went to that house with the dog house in it, and we walked out, and I made the period joke, and we were also talking about how, he's from the suburbs, and he, like...
hates, like, a minority? Oh, yeah. Sorry, I mean, monsters, he calls them.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure, like, this is the same area, except now we're in the, like, snowy world.
It's like a really creepy owl.
It was a little creepy.
What do they call this area? Gordon. That's it?
Okay.
Is Gordon here?
Is Commissioner Gordon here?
Gordon,
where are you? Hey.
Gordon, I've got your mother's ashes. Look, it's in their urn. Gordon, you come out. You come out right now.
Gordon,
hey, look,
I know where Batman is.
Hey, look, it's Coca-Cola. It's like Coca-Cola, but, like, they didn't have the rights, so
that
it's
makes
Coca-Cola.
me want some Coca-Cola right
I
now.
know, right?
I'm a big fan of cock.
There's a TV set. The power must be out. It doesn't work.
That sucks.
Nothing useful.
So is this a normal version of the town that people lived in?
You know what? No. Still not really, but it's probably the closest plane of existence to that.
Oh, okay.
This door is jammed. This lock can't be open.
So
Get out with a quitting attitude like that.
So there are 3 different, like, worlds in Silent Hill other than the normal one where people just normally live.
It's very complex because technically there's kind of more than that probably, but yeah, I mean, so just a second. Let's just look this up. I'm sorry we'll sit here for a minute, but there is a point to it.
There's no point, actually.
So there is the real world. There is the normal plane of existence that most people inhabit in the Silent Hill series. Unlike the Fog World or Otherworld, the real world is a place with presumably little to no parallel or paranormal activity.
Okay.
Monsters tend not to manifest at this level of reality. However, Considering that the fog world and otherworld are able to supersede the real world, it is assumed that supernatural beings with great power at their disposal have some direct influence on the real world of Silent Hill as well.
Oh.
Unlike the other universes that exist in Silent Hill games, the real world is rarely interacted with. In most cases, games begin with the protagonist of their respective game crossing between worlds only to find themselves trapped within the fog world. These brief instances are typically the only in-game glimpses of the real world that the player ever sees. The town of Silent Hill appears to be an ordinary tourist town to most of the inhabitants of the real world. It is also suggested... Oh, sorry, my phone moved.
That's okay.
Blah, 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 blah. It is also suggested that the majority of the town's residents are unaware of the supernatural forces at work within the town, and by extension, any of the protagonists' actions during their time spent in the town's alternate realities. So, it's interesting because they also mention that there's a character who spent an entire week in Silent Hill and talks about it, and there was nothing. Like, it was just a normal area, like a nice, quiet town.
Kitty, I think, opened the door.
Oh, that's okay. Does it matter?
No, I was just telling you because it scared me.
Oh, I'm sorry. But, that said, in the film, there's some different stuff.
I didn't know there was a film.
There's one film that's considered pretty good.
Oh, really?
And there's one film that's considered horrible.
Oh.
Which is too bad, because the horrible one, I think Silent Hill Revelation or Revelations, ruins like one of the best storylines in the entire franchise.
I assume that one's probably not supposed to be canon then.
Neither is the other one. They're their own timeline.
Oh, okay.
Then there is the Fog World, which is a supernatural phenomenon in Silent Hill, Maine. Blah, 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 blah. Silent Hill was founded around Toluca Lake, from which dense fog and darkness can envelop the area, blurring the distinction between dream and reality for some characters. During this state, elements of the unconscious mind, including impossible monsters and scenarios, can manifest into tangibility. And then they talk about how it kind of mirrors the cycles between REM and non-REM sleep. The fog world will periodically shift to a deeper part of the nightmare referred to as the other world or the reverse side. Those with troubled psyches are more susceptible to the fog world, and the town has been known to attract those with darkness in their hearts.
Oh.
And then, manifest itself.
So it's kind of like you're in the fog world for too long of a period of time, and then it turns into the other world, and then it kind of changes back again, like cycles of sleep.
Like what what Harry did here. There's no distinct boundary between the real world and the fog world. The flow of time and the laws of physics can also change when entering this state. The fog world usually appears sparse, except for monsters and the occasional human being. The lingering thoughts of certain people who died, suddenly and unexpectedly, can cause their spirits to remain trapped in the fog world. Fog world-like states can affect areas outside of Silent Hill and Toluca Lake, but only under special circumstances. Then, of course, finally, there is the other world, and then I will move on for anyone bored of me just sitting in this house. The other world is essentially the nightmare world or alternate world that shows up throughout the series. That's where we just were in the school. It's a mysterious effect that materializes throughout the ancient powers of Silent Hill, Maine. It may be viewed as a parallel or non-parallel plane of existence, although the other world is an abstract concept which has never been officially or completely defined, and attempting to categorize the other world as one or the other argues semantics. However, both world and dimension have been used to reference the other world both in-game and in official guidebooks. There is a journal that implies it lies on the border where reality and unreality intersect.
Interesting.
The other world is not reality, yet it is still real on another plane of existence that is impossible for normal humans to comprehend and is difficult to describe by human language. The other world...
So there's another world?
That's the one we were just in.
Okay,
when
so that
everything was rusty and run down and stuff like that. It wasn't the fog world, it was beyond it.
So that one's the world that's hard to explain for human language.
The worst one.
Okay.
They go on to... This is all on the wiki, by the way. But they talk about the other world may be viewed as a cancerous disease slowly infecting reality until reality becomes hell on earth, or a dimension invading another dimension. However, there is no doubt that the other world is shaped by minds and the psyche of those present, usually to the effect of creating their own limbo. This was originally localized in Silent Hill, however, it also has extended to neighboring towns over the course of the series.
Oh, okay.
Kind of spreading a tiny bit. And there's a lot of stuff with characters in the other world and the cult and other stuff that I don't want to spoil all of, but I think it's interesting.
I have decided my prediction is that Cheryl is dead.
Really?
Yeah, I've predicted now that Cheryl's dead, and the reason Harry keeps seeing her sometimes and thinking about her and stuff is because she recently passed, and she's in his psyche and stuff, and he's in the fog world, and he is seeing her because, you know, she's recently deceased, and he doesn't know it yet.
Okay, that's an interesting theory.
Because you did say, like, the recently deceased can be seen here, right?
Great. Yes, that is true. Oh, so that was the point of that. Okay, alright.
So, this is the fog world, right?
Yeah.
So, there's only so far, like, in this game that we've encountered 3 worlds. The real world, the fog world, and the other world. At the moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, to my knowledge, that's all there is.
That makes sense. I understand that. So, I assume that back when it was the Native Americans, when they had, like, happy thoughts, I assume the fog world, since that's, like, the gate between dreams, I guess, for them, that was where all the happy stuff for them happened. And they never really encountered the other world, which I think is hellish, right?
I'm pretty sure the Native Americans placed a curse on the land after they were driven out and killed by a lot of the colonizers.
Wow. So, do you think that's why the other world is here? Because they kind of, like, called upon demons to indoctrinate it into, like, hell?
Well, I don't know. Okay, I got stuck on that tree. There's a lot of, like, theories around that, but I will say that one thing for sure is that the Order doesn't help.
Stuff on that bench.
And by the Order, I mean the cult.
Uh-huh.
They have exacerbated whatever that curse was by trying to summon their paradise and all this other stuff and trying to use the reality of Silent Hill to create.
So it's kind of like they're strengthening the curse.
Yeah, but they think that they're using the curse to do more than that. It's very complicated, and I don't want to, like, get into everything, because if I do, then everything that we find out over the course of the games will just be like, oh, I already knew that.
Yeah, I know.
I'm also not an expert, by the way. There's stuff I just genuinely do not know.
I guess I like, you know, having some recaps and understanding some things, since it seems like it's been a little complicated so far.
I live here now.
That makes sense. Good little hobo spot.
But yeah, no, I get that, and I'm trying to be helpful without, without stepping on my own toes in terms of trying to explain the logic behind Silent Hill. Okay.
And without spoiling everything.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I get that.
I don't like those things, and that one is finally dead.
What's the deal with the pterodactyls? Are they in every game, or is that just a part of Alessa's trauma, too?
I don't know what the pterodactyls represent. I'd have to look. The problem is that until we figure out Alessa's deal, if I start telling you what these things represent or don't represent, even if I look them up, it's gonna, like, spoil a lot.
Okay, so we gotta find out her deal, and then I can ask these questions.
Yeah, although, like, a lot of what you're asking is speculation. So a lot of people have speculated. I know there's more over here.
There's a red thing on the ground.
I know, but I'm slowly working my way through this area, okay?
Yeah, but you're zigzagging.
I understand, but the way that the camera works, I can only see one side of the street at once.
That makes sense.
And I can't control the camera. So the reason I'm zigzagging is to make sure I don't...
Is to make sure that you don't get hit with a bullet.
What's this? No dark demon creatures?
I guess so.
Okay, well, they're not following the sign.
They're not
Excuse
following
me,
the
sir,
sign,
there
are
is
they?
a sign. You are not welcome here.
I like the idea that they put up signs around the town to ward off evil.
I mean, it would work if I was the evil. What is that? Oh. You okay?
Yeah. And then the police have to, like, arrest these pterodactyl things. Was that thing stuck on the environment?
I think he wouldn't have been if I ran by, but yeah, he was trying to come at me.
That's funny.
And just like how I get stuck on janky stuff, he was kind of moving like this. And I think he couldn't get out, so yes. Anything over here? No. Yeah, you know, this part of the game, a lot more peaceful, not as scary. In this one, at least.
Are you wanting to cut ahead until we get somewhere interesting?
I don't think it's uninteresting. We're just exploring Silent Hill.
Well, that makes sense.
Are you bored?
No, I just thought it might be a little boring to just walk through that alley for so long.
Well, I'm out of the alley now.
That makes sense. I'm sorry.
Don't you want me to explore?
Yes, I do.
I don't have to. I'm going around wiping out all the monsters.
Good. I'm glad that you're wasting our bullets.
It's not wasting, it's investing. There's a chainsaw. There's no gasoline. Can't use it.
Maybe if we find some gasoline, we can use the chainsaw, and then we can change our name to Ash. And...
Do you think that's what this is a reference to, actually? It is a red chainsaw. Look at that.
It could be. What does it say? Something chainsaws? Cut right chainsaws.
Yeah, cut right chainsaws. That's what it says.
I don't know. It could be a reference to Evil Dead, yeah.
I was, scared I was going to fall off there.
That's okay.
Even though you technically aren't supposed to be able to. Yeah, there's a lot of references to horror things and authors and stuff, so I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, maybe it was a reference to Evil Dead then. Maybe somebody was a fan. Because that's pretty cool.
And this does take place in America.
America!
Do you want me to go back down the alleyway since that was, your favorite part?
Yeah, actually.
Slowly and zigzag and look around.
Make sure that you check everything very thoroughly.
I can do that
Don't
for
leave
you.
a stone unturned.
Oh, man. Alright, so is there anything over here? That clearly doesn't open, but I checked anyway.
Opens.
I checked anyway. I'm going to piss on that to assert my dominance.
I like that the street names are on the poles.
Yeah, that actually is cool.
Bachman Ave.
I don't remember which one was Bachman, but I think that one was the guy, maybe Stephen King's alias when he wrote, but I don't remember. Maybe it was someone else.
Something.
Bradbury, again, is the guy who wrote Sound of Thunder and some other stuff.
Where are we supposed to go, since we already checked out Carrie Kelly's house?
Well, this is the church. We heard things coming from here.
Let's try going in.
Well, I will in just a second, but let me look at something.
Oh.
So there's a gas station up ahead. It wants me to go to the church. I want to check the gas station.
Okay, let's go to the gas station, see if we can buy
Right.
some Mary Jane.
Well, also, if we... Wait a minute.
What?